Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for.
Gamers, good evening and welcome to tonight's CF1 broadcast. I'm your host for this evening. I go by Speezy24, and stepping out from behind the power rankings, making their CF1 casting debut, it's Kieran. How we doing tonight, Kieran?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. Excited to be here, especially excited to cast with you, Speezy. It's been something I'm looking forward to. Figured last night of the match of the second split, it's time for Kieran to shine. So I came on board tonight and hoping to have a good match to watch and spectate.
Absolutely, and tonight's match will be a pretty solid matchup between the Cal State Golden Bears against the Washington Gamers Association. I mean, WGA was one of those teams, Kieran, in that over split one, we were like, hey, they look pretty solid. This team can possibly make it to the playoffs and push for that championship. But unfortunately, since split two, that has not been the case with WGA.
Yeah, coming out of split one, they were a number 2 seed in the West region. They were playing really well. They were playing against the most competitive teams, winning matches. Even pulling maps off some of our best teams. But Split 2 has just been a different beast, and it really coalesces with the fact that we had patch 2.06 right before the start of Split 2. So that's your Bucky nerfs, that was your Viper buffs, that was, Astra being introduced into the game. And that is such a inflection point on how these seasons have gone that when we take a look at these standings right now, you can really see just how much that has changed from what we had from Split 1 to Split 2.
Absolutely. UC Irvine and San Jose State have been able to adapt wonderfully to this new meta from 2.06, like you said, right? They're not running triple duelist, quad duelist. They're playing these controllers in the Vipers, in the Astras, and they're able to stall out rounds. So I think early days of Valorant, we are well past that. The game's been out for a little over a year now, and I would say split one, it was definitely just raw firepower. Who can go out there and who can frag? Obviously, the agent abilities helped, but you could see a Jet pull off a crazy 1v4 and nobody would blink and no one would bat an eye. Whereas now we're seeing the Vipers, we're seeing the Astras just really living up to that controller namesake and controlling the map and understanding the rotations and the utility usage, which has been a huge part of why UC Irvine and San Jose State have been dominating this Western region.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things really to look at here. So, UCI is absolutely dominating this West region right now. They have not dropped a map. SJSU has shown some vulnerability over the course of the season. They lost to UCI. They dropped a map to Cal Poly. They've been very, very close with some of these other teams. But, yes, their raw talent and their ability to eventually adapt to the meta, especially UCI, they adapted so quick, had put them head above the rest of our competition. But when we focus down here on the lower 2/3 of our bracket, what we see is people picking up Astra, but maybe not being competent. We have Icebox banned out today, an obvious sign that a team is not comfortable with Viper, because if you're banning Icebox, you're essentially telling someone, listen, we don't have a Viper in our arsenal, period. But even with that, UC Boulder and WGA just played last week. Up until last week, WGA had a legitimate possibility of entering our playoffs. There's still some ways that Cal may be bumped out of our playoffs. So Cal needs to win tonight and they secure themselves. But either a loss from UC Boulder or a win from CPP sort of knocks it out of the park and Cal gets secured victory. So it's about a 90% chance that Cal makes our playoffs at this point in time, but there can be a 3-way tie for the last 2 spots, and then all hell breaks loose when you look at the tiebreakers. But when we look at these teams, WGA and Cal, they both played SJSU and they both played UCI at this point. WGA played them substantially closer, right? So while these standings may say, WGA, worst team in the West, that's up for debate. They lost to SJSU 11-13, 6-13, and then to UCI 9-13 and 7-13. When you compare that to Cal, who lost, 5-13 to SJSU and then 10-13 and then 10-13 to UCI and then 2-13 to UCI as well. We're seeing a much different, results. And those were the last 2 weeks for Cal. So they've been on a losing trend. WG is playing well. They've been playing well all season. It's just now they need to put it over the edge and culminate it in a win.
Absolutely. And, you see that 0-4 from WGA and you think, oh, there's nothing too much on the line. They just going to call in the towel. But I can tell you, having been an athlete in college, you don't want to go 0-5 in anything, right? These players are going to come out. They have a point to prove. We're not the worst team in the West, and they're gonna bring some new tech, hopefully. But Kieran, the other thing I want to talk about, your power rankings, because we saw the power rankings show yesterday. We have a new release of power rankings as well. Do you want to defend some of your choices, or should we just let the chart speak for itself?
Yeah, so there's one obvious one I want to address right off the bat. These power rankings were published before yesterday's match between UH Premier and OSU. Obviously, we thought, if you were just looking at the previous results from Split 1, UH Premier took a 2-1 victory over OSU. They were hyper competitive all year. They were having similar results against each team. So, Houston looked good. Like, they just looked good. But as I addressed it on the Power Ranking show, they've been doing this really large roster, a 9-man rotation, subbing people in and out on quite some frequency. And that had some downsides if those roster members aren't specialists. Someone that is playing a Viper, someone that is playing an Astra, someone that's playing a Yoru just for a very specific comp on a very specific map. If you're all playing the same exact agents and you're swapping it in and out on who's having a better day, at the end of the day, you're not getting as much practice and as many reps as the other teams that you're playing. And that's a huge, huge issue. And I think that came to the forefront a little bit last night. Obviously, I'm still feeling very confident about SJSU. They've been doing well in a lot of different tournaments. UCI has proven that they are a beast. And if I had to rank these right now, I'd probably say it's SJSU 1, UCI 2, and then probably OSU 3, Rutgers 4.
Putting OSU over the Scarlet Knights. I know some fans will have something to say about that, but only time will tell when it comes to that. And one of the things, taking a look at not yesterday's power rankings, but the one from last week, both yourself and Beanies, interestingly, had Cal Golden Bears on that list. They've dropped off. Can we see them with a dominating win tonight? Do they make an appearance next week before the playoffs? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's really hard to say that they would make an appearance just because I think, between now and our next power rankings, we're going to have the regional playoffs. So it's not just this match that's taking place. We're actually going to have our regional playoffs and know exactly which 6 teams are going to advance onto our grand finals. So they not only have to win this game, then they have to go and play. At this point, they're most likely going to be playing SJSU in the first round. So, if they beat SJSU in the semifinals of the West, absolutely. They're on my power rankings 110%. They probably go as high as, 7, maybe 6. So that's still within the cards, but they need to win tonight in a pretty dominating fashion. And then they need to come out and win again in the semifinals. Otherwise, what they're basically saying is we are a very, very good team, but we're not in the upper echelon, right? And that's a distinction that we always try to make in the power rankings. It's not that Cal's a bad team by any stretch. Losing to UCI and SJSU does not make you a bad team. Otherwise, the country would be full of very horrible and bad teams.
Right.
But it's what we're saying is you're not in that top tier. If they can absolutely be on it next week, I think there's a couple of teams that are vulnerable on my list. Army really needs to show up in the opening round of the East regions. So tomorrow they're playing ONU. If Army loses, obviously I don't think they're going to be in my top 10 anymore. ONU is going to be up there. Cal can easily slot into that 10 spot even with just a good performance tonight. But if they want to prove and show themselves something, they need to either take a match against an SJSU and a UCI, or at the very least a map. And I think that's been the tough one. Teams have taken maps off of SJSU. Teams have taken maps off of UCI. Not UCI this split, but UCI the previous split 1. So the fact that Cal hasn't been one of those teams suggests to me that they're very, very good. They're just not elite yet.
Absolutely. I totally understand with you on that one. And, you bring up the regional playoffs. You are one of the many masterminds behind the scenes, working every day to make CF1 work. Can you give the viewers just a quick breakdown of how those playoffs will look and how they will work out?
Sure. So we have 2 stages of playoffs. We have our regional playoffs, which are starting tomorrow in the East, where the top 4 teams from each group will be cross-seeded against one another and play for a spot in our grand finals, which has a $10,000 prize pool. So the top 2 teams from each region are going to be entered into our grand finals. So there's only 2 spots available. We're going to be down to 6 teams come this time next Monday. We're just not going to have a whole lot. Oh, we're getting into the game right now, it looks like.
Oh yeah, Agent Select is here. The first map will be split, if I'm not mistaken. Map number 2 will be Ascent. That was picked by the Cal Golden Bears, and if we need it, tonight's map number 3 will be everybody's favorite Bind. But Washington picking split, Cal's on defense first. Take a look at WGA. I mean, it seems like they have their agent selection dialed in. We see the Sage locked in. We see the Reyna, but Astra hovered by Treb. I'd be shocked if we don't get that locked in momentarily.
Yeah, WGA has been playing with Astra. They played it last week. P-Man was the one that was running for them. It looks like P-Man is subbed out today from WGA. So be interested to see how Treb, interjects into the roster and how well he does with the Astra. Obviously Teagle has been running, Astra on the Cal side to mixed success. When the team's doing well, he does very, very well with Astra. When the team is not doing well as an overall or going even, it seems that Teagle seems to fall off on that character. So I think it's much more of a support role in the Cal Golden Bears, selection and composition strategy more so than a carry sort of like Astra win us games.
Right, and they have to be dialed in, right? Because Astra, one of those characters you can't just pick up and say, all right, let's give this a shot on this map. You have to be practiced, you have to be dialed in, and you have to have that teamwork. You talk about some of these teams that are running 7 to 9 man rosters. Some of that synergy may not be there when it comes to certain agents and when it comes to certain players. So while you think they want their cross smoked, they're actually smoking backside and what have you. So we hope that these 2 teams are dialed in. Cal Golden Bears against WGA, the last regular season match. Kieran, I'm excited. I know you are too. The walls are about to go down and the guns are about to come up for CF1's last regular season matchup. Let's make sure it's a good one here, folks.
Yeah, let's start this pistol off right. Let's get some hype plays. Let's see it in the chat today. I'm really excited to have this one as my first cast of the season.
And we see some quick movement here from WGA, just showing a little bit of presence toward A side. And look at the mini map, Kieran. All of Cal has rotated off of B side almost.
Yeah, no, they are moving. They're quickly adapting the strategy. This is sort of what we want to see.
It is what we want to see, and that's what you want to see if you're a WGA fan. Treb getting first blood. And the spike is going to be planted. Sage has walled off back sight of this B bomb site. There's a couple players, though, on WGA that are low. Raise, all you need to do, just sneeze on her, and that player will go down. 3 back sight here posted up. Will they be able to trade? Yes, they will. Trades are going in favor of WGA. Senpai gets another, and Gov gonna clean it up for a 3K on the round, and WGA strike first on map number 1.
Yeah, I really like how WGA just pocketed themselves in the corner there as Cal tried to do their retake. A really smart strategy when we're talking pistols and there's no other guns and limited abilities. Like, that's just a smart call and a good play. I'm glad to see them, start off the match so strong.
And one of the things, one of the things that if you are a Cal Golden fan is you don't want a super early snowball. But if WGA do what I think they're about to do and just run this down with Spectres, this should be their round as we get a trade immediately and damage coming across the board. Treb and Senpai each going to find a frag. And, well, Kieran, we wanted it to be quick. And then I was knowing the spike to go down within 20 seconds.
Yeah, obviously this round isn't going Cal's way, but at the end of the day, most round 2s after losing a pistol aren't going your way regardless. I like that they showed a lot of aggression. They got a lot of flack last week for being a little bit too passive. Showing the style early and saying, all right, we know where they're going to stack. Let's try to restack against them is actually a good sign. Like, they weren't going to win that round almost 99 out of 100 times. Trying something and testing the other team's ability to react to that gives them a lot more information. And that's a smart, savvy play from the Cal Golden Bears and brilliantly well executed from Washington.
very clean. I think they dropped, what, one player? Washington did that entire round. So they will go for the bonus and not invest in this round as we move into round number 3. But all of the Golden Bears, Phantoms, full shields, 4 players with 0 credits left over. So they need to win this one or that snowball will commence extremely fast. And there's the first fight. Ob's going to take it, but traded by Nagami. There is a player here in Vent. Just going to get one more frag. So advantage goes to the favor of the Golden Bears. They do have plenty of time to work with, but WGA is looking to fight and fight aggressively as Blaster is going to take down Nagami. And Gov's just looking to find a little bit of space or any kind of opening. That's one from Senpai. That could open up the A site. Oh, the timing. Gov just misses Teagle. Will they repeat this? Yes. And, oh my gosh, Gov with the stinger.
Last player.
Walls off Blue Haze. Gonna grab the Phantom, but no, Blue Haze turns them into a ghost. Cal Golden Bears, they make the investment pay off. They get their first round on the board, but at what cost? Look at this second buy here, Kieran, from Cal Golden Bears. They're gonna have to force into this one again. They lost 3 players.
Yeah, they lost a lot of guns, and some of it was, you can see a little bit of miscommunication. They should have been setting up their crossfires a little bit better. You know, once you have that numbers advantage and you're on a 2-on-4 or a 3-on-1 situation, solo peeking becomes just a bad strategy. So what I would like to see is once they get an advantage, use that advantage to their benefit. Not just say, okay, it's an easier round, we can lose a couple people. Press the advantage, reformulate your strategy, and communicate a little bit better.
And look at this wall from Ob. Posted right up on B Heaven. Oh no. Ob with the judge. But Treb finds an opening on Blue Haze. That's going to be a mid to B. Let's see what they decide to do here with this opening. They have plenty of map control. Ray's Boombot is going to let the players of Cal Golden know that they are middle. There's 2 players. There's 1 player at least, but as we can see on the minimap, there are 2. As they rotate towards B site.
This is a very, very slow push from WGA. Something we haven't seen in the first 3 rounds. Glad to see a switch up here, but, you know, Cal likes slow. That's all I'm going to say. Cal oh, no!
Teagle caught with their gun down, trying to use that gravity well on Astra. Does not get the job done, and that is going to be... I mean, Kieran, as much as I hate to say it, I think that's going to be the round for WGA, but a dink from JT Blaster makes this one a bit more winnable. Chaiwan not able to hell just yet. Oh, 1v4 clutch. The dream's there, but so is Gov to shut it down. 3-1, and WGA is in a commanding lead right now, I would say.
No, they absolutely are. I mean, that's just purely unfortunate. Teagle had the perfect setup there. You know, he had the right gun choice, just spray people down right as the corner. That's just one of those unfortunate things that we see happen in Valorant oh so often is the timing is off. The strategy was there, your skill was there. You just decided to use your ability at the wrong second, and it's really unrecoverable, right? There's nothing you can adapt or change to that. That person was holding that point with, I believe it was a judge too. You know, you need it. It needs to go your way. You're supposed to win that duel, probably take 2 Ks away from that, and then that's a much different round and a much harder take from WGA.
But we will see them execute hard here onto this A site. Trebs finds one. I believe the Blade Storm was popped from Blue Haze. So can they make that Blade Storm count? Teagle with the judge, not able to get anything. Are they going to check this corner? Oh, what a shorty. Finds Senpai. That's going to be a weapon upgrade and a res. So Cal Golden. Oh, is the res not going to come through? Looks like they're second guessing it. Blue Haze, 70 HP, going to back off. Oh, beautiful shot from Blue Haze, able to trade out the teammate. And Cal Golden, they get the thrifty without investing Ob's res. That is a huge thing to count on for maybe next round. I mean, the money wasn't there. They could have done the eco res, but deciding against it was Ob, as Cal Golden is coming back.
Yeah, that's just really great ult economy. You know, it's something that we, forget if you're coming from the CSGO community. You know, it's much more of a, Overwatch sort of feel to it. But, just using your ults at the right sort of time, it doesn't always have to be at the start of a match or a start of a round. Using it at the right time in the middle and knowing when to hold on to it, more, crucially, in some aspects, is more important. And I really like what Cal did there. Pulling off the thrifty at this round is so important. Gives them a really strong push coming into round 6.
And one of the other things I like that Cal have done here is they've switched CF1 with the Astra. That's going to be Teagle, who's now playing on the A site. And they've seen themselves get executed onto on this B site a couple of times now, and deciding to make that switch to the Sentinel on this site, hoping to at least slow down the push from WGA. So I don't know if there was any kind of information that WGA says, hey, let's gamble and let's push mid after going B. After going garage, they see the Sage wall, so they think, okay, maybe there's a player up here, but it is a one-way from Ob. Cosmic Divide's going to go out. Not able to get the job done. Shawnee T takes down Ob, and the cut off the rotation. Gets one, but traded out, so 2v4. Look at the HP bars on top for WGA. Shawnee T, I believe, has about 25 HP. Hoping to make something work, and the heal does come through onto that raise, so a bit more difficult now for Blue Haze as well as CF1. Checking every corner, making sure sight is clear. WGA going to get this spike planted with 15 seconds left. No reason to fret.
Yeah, this has been a really nice B to mid to A transition, taking an advantage and pressing it. It doesn't look like Cal know exactly how they want to try this retake. And they're just going to poke the bear a little bit, see what they can get. But I don't see them hard committing. They don't have to.
So
wrong.
The Golden Bears are poking the bear. I guess we could say that.
Yes,
As you say
absolutely.
that, Blue Haze takes down one, takes down a second. CF1 though taken down as well. So it's Gov versus Blue Haze to win this battle. I think they're just going to try and lock him into sight as Blue Haze, make him pay economically, but Gov does not care. Takes him down with a clean headshot, and they're both going to escape with those weapons, crucially, for WGA.
Yeah, I really didn't like the full-on commit in a 2-on-4 scenario with a very hard retake on A. They don't have great angles. They didn't have a large amount of utility, no smokes or anything really to disrupt. I liked how they were poking originally with Blue Haze coming off on the side. I think that was enough. Killing 2 and backing out and disrupting their economy had to be enough. But what I really want to see is Cal adapt to these slow pushes from WGA. When WGA is just rushing in, Cal knows what to do. When they do these slow, methodical pushes where they're starting and poking and then transitioning through mid and then going to another site, it doesn't quite look like Cal knows how to adapt to that or play against that strategy, which is funny because it's very similar to what they like to do on offense as well. So I think they just need to, really think this over. Take this tack pause as done by WGA and use it to their own advantage, and say, all right, if they're doing a slow push, if we don't see them in the first 15 seconds, how do we rotate? Where do we change our setup? How do we advance this so that we're in a better position?
Right, because like you said, Cal's doing nothing wrong other than just rotating either a bit too early or a bit too late. WGA is playing a very slow style right now, and Cal, they have the reads. I mean, you can see even right now, during this freeze time, CF1 zone is already setting up the Killjoy turret on B, and look at the minimap. There's 5 players from WGA on this B half of the site, so if they can slow down, use the info that's given to them, right? Like you hear this raise boombot, that's information gained for CF1. So say, okay, at least know I have a raise here. Stay patient, stay calm, and trust your teammates that they'll hit their shots. But as I say, that showstopper comes out. Nagami doesn't find a thing, gets tagged in the back, and Shawnee T is going to take down CF1. Blue Haze already on the rotation here. Going to try to grab the upgraded weapon, does not get it. Throws it over to their teammate though, so that will be a weapon upgrade for Teagle, as well as Gov. Gov's the one you want that weapon in, as Ob. Ob has been doing extremely well. Going to get the res for V3. So in favor of Cal Golden Bears, but not when Sean does that. Blaster and Gov are going to trade 2v2. Blue Haze and Teagle are trying to take down Gov and Shen. Gov doesn't even need help. Takes both down. I think that's Gov's, what, third or fourth 3K so far this map? Go ahead and pop off, Gov.
Yeah, no, Gov is carrying this team right now for WGA. And not even by winning a lot of duels, just by being in the right position to do a lot of cleanup. I think what I want to see from Cal is, they are winning gunfights. They have that skill, they have that ability, but WGA is not doing a whole lot of split pushes, right? They're usually 5-man stacking one thing. As soon as they know what site they're attacking, what avenue they're going up, I really want to see Cal collapse, take all the spots they're doing and collapse on them, because right now it seems that WGA is pretty much one note, 5-man stack, push aside.
Yeah, and one of the other things that I noticed Cal not doing very much of is there's really no lurk coming through as Shawnee T finds JT with a wild spray down. Look at this wall from Ob. Gets one, gets a second. Oh, excuse me, Blue Haze gonna chime in there. Gov, though, takes down 2, gets the res off. So, 2v3 situation, make it a 2v2. Chaewon's gonna shut one down. Both players in heaven, Chaewon, have yourself a day. That's 2. Can they find the third? It's in hell, yes, Chaewon. 3K.
All right.
I think Gov can do, Che can do better. Cal Golden back on the map here.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, right? They definitely have the ability to win 1-on-2s, 1-on-3s. They have that skill. But once again, you saw WGA get off to a really commanding lead. And even with Ob just having the great judge control, cleaning it up, and getting that retaking that advantage, they still almost lost that round, right? It still came down to Chaewon getting a 3K. And you can't always rely on that. So I really do want to see them change their strategy a little bit to collapse, or as you said, pull off a lurk on this 5-man stack that seems to be pretty readable at this point in time.
Again, it's another one, right? It's just a 5-man A-hit. And look at the minimap. Every single player from Cal Golden is coming from the same exact spot. Luckily, though, they do have Che to bail them out this time as well, as that lockdown will become available, and Che going to take out one. Got Gov trying to find a little bit of work, but let Shawnee T just run in there. Not going to be finds 2 with those paint shells. What was that? Treb is behind Ob, though, in heaven, so this may get a little awkward. Not going to be trying to play the timing on this one because he knows where their teammate is. They know there's a player up there, but just missing out. Ob and Neagle are like 2 ships passing in the night. Takes down 1. Spike's planted for him. Treb, go ahead. 1v1. Better controller wins. Will it be Ob? Will it be Treb? Treb's going to get the clutch, and that was clean from Treb, but again, Cal Golden, they're coming from the same exact spot each time. Every single player was in A heaven at one time during that last round.
Yeah, I mean, it's you don't want to, minimize things, right? Obviously, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of strategy. You don't want to just 5-stack a 5-man stack and say, okay, we fight fire with fire. That's not really how this game works, because the second that WGA switches it up, you're at an extreme disadvantage. That said, you cannot let someone get on A site that easy, right? That was 10 seconds, not firing a bullet, plants. And if that's going to be the way you're going to do it, you have to be really smooth on your retake and not 5-stack 5 people in high position, because they read that like a book.
Speaking of getting read like a book, Shawnee T just absolutely annihilated JT Blaster. Granted, there was a weapon differential, but just checks the corner, even though their teammate had already had them locked in. And this is what we want to see, right? Chaewon starting to get a bit more aggressive, even though they fell in Ramen Shop, starting to take a bit more of that space. Blue Haze playing a very close and personal contact right there, hoping for the best as their teammates will rotate. But take a look at the minimap. Sage from Cal State, that's going to be off 2001, should be possibly looking for a flank. They're playing it too safe for, again, my liking. That's why I cast and not coach, but you got to try something at this point. 7-3 or WGA. They secure themselves at least a winning half on split. Isn't an attack-sided map. Excuse me, you can make the argument. I'd say it's about 55-45 in favor of the attack, so to be expected. But if you're Cal Golden, you do not want to be staring down the barrel of a 9-3 half. That's detrimental.
Yeah, and I really like what Cal did on that map. That round. That was a switch up. That was a gun disadvantage. They played it pretty well. I like the positions that they're taking. I'll be interested to see what Nagami Time does with the judge right now. On attack, not something we usually see too much of. But yeah, if Cal keeps on switching it up and adapting, this is a long series. This is not let's win a round for the sake of winning a round. Let's learn, let's adapt, let's grow. If they do that, they'll be in a fine position.
They certainly will be in a fine position as J1 tries to find himself in a fine position and gets one, but traded out Gov with the res and Treb. That's a free B site now for WGA. They do have Ob, though, up in heaven. Does Cal Golden. Not able to find the second frag for themselves. Astra and Raze. So there's plenty of utility still left over for Cal Golden to retake this. Double blast packs on JT. Can they create some space with this? That is the question. Oh, as the gravity well, huge gravity well from Treb sucks in JT Blaster Boy. And Kieran, that's one of the things we talked about was, are these players practiced on these agents right there? Treb with a huge gravity well, understands the positioning on this retake. I would argue that secured them the round.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely the case. Obviously, you haven't played exactly that much about Astra in that particular, position. How are you to know that your blaster packs aren't going to work? So I don't take anything away from Cal on that one. What I will say is I didn't like the double peak up in heaven. You got the one kill. You have, you're now 3 versus 3 or 3 versus 4 at that point in time. Wait for your lurkers to make a swing rotation while still holding that pressure up at heaven would have been a much better look and provided a better chance of winning.
And almost a great gravity well by Teagle as they sucked in 2 players, if I'm not mistaken. Cypher gonna get that first. That's the first neural theft we've seen in the half, and Nagami's gonna make it count, taking down Blue Haze. WGA look poised to take round number 9. Showstopper gets popped. Does a little bit of damage to Chaiwan. Not enough to get the frag, though. But the Phantom will clean it up. Ob tries to play the judge, jury, and executioner, but Shawnee T taking us to boot camp. Gets it locked down as WGA secure a 9-3 half. This is a commanding lead for WGA right now.
Yeah, and you know what? There were about 2 rounds in that half where I think that if, Astra and Teagle just, Treb were just, they gravity well at the wrong time, or they were trying to do their astral pull at the wrong time. If they were in great positions with that judge, if they had just held off or get their timing a little bit better, they probably would have won both of those rounds. Speculating on what would have happened if you had a corner with a judge and 2 people ran past you. So I think they need to be a little bit more patient when they have the right position. And I think that's what we're seeing some of the differences are. If you're hearing footsteps, keep your gun out, right? Don't try to make a hero play. Get 2 kills. You're going to be fine.
Absolutely. Hero plays right now are only they're gonna come few and far between. These teams are locked and loaded and trying to get dialed in for playoffs, or even just prove to themselves and to the other teams in the league that, hey, just because we're 0-4 right now doesn't mean you're just gonna walk all over us. WGA coming out with a point to prove, but Cal Golden taking down 2 members so far, so they do have the advantage. And Kieran, after this round, remind me to highlight one of the things that I think possibly could be hindering Cal Golden Bears after we see this. JT Blaster and Blue Haze each get a frag, and Senpai-chan trying to go all ooh-woo in the chat. Can they clutch up 1v4? 2 players are low on HP. They're trying to get the trade. Teagle doesn't need it. Going to answer that call themselves with the classic right click. And all right, Kieran, I know I said
the floor is yours. The floor is yours. Yeah.
It all happens so fast, and I want to say I am the first person to insta-lock Jet in ranked if it's a good map for it, right? Haven, Bind, absolutely. Pretty solid maps to play Jet. Even Breeze, I don't know if you've had a chance to try out Breeze. Great map for it. But on a map like Split, there's not a ton of long sight lines. The argument I have for Cal Golden here is, why not the Breach? Breach can hard clear some of these corners, give you a lot more utility, and play together as a team much better than what this Jet can do. So I think that's maybe one of the questions if they do make playoffs, they want to look at moving into the next steps of CF1, because Breach can have such a large impact without getting a single frag. Whereas this Jet, if they're not fragging and causing chaos, are they really even playing the character right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to be said about running a flashless comp, and what we've seen a lot recently with that. And obviously, this is not the map for ops, right? No one's debating that.
Right.
I do like the Jet is able to quickly get past some of these really coughing corners of death, so I'm sure that's where the comfortability factor comes in. But at the end of the day, you know, they're about to take this round, most likely, unless Trev pulls off a hero play here, which realistically on an Astra probably not going to happen. So I don't think the composition is as big an issue. Yeah, no stars. This is going to be one of the harder retakes we've seen. And, you know, so I don't think I don't want to blame the comp in a large degree. I think if you're really comfortable on an agent like Jett, play Jett, right? That's just one of those things. Like, you don't want to switch it up for someone, especially if it's out of your class or in something that's completely different. I don't think that helps your team overall. If they do, you know, this is still a very comebackable map here for, you know, Cal. Like, let's not oversell this here. They win this one. They break the economy again. They can roll this right into an 8-9 matchup real quick. So this is not out of reach by any stretch of the imagination. It really does come down to this round. So let's see what happens. Let's see how well their attack is running. And maybe that's what they're just made to do. We attack. We don't defend.
Hey, I mean, if it works for the Houston Rockets, it might as well work for the Cal Golden Bears, as they've taken a lot of space early on so far. They have complete mid control, and what they choose to do with this, the world is theirs from this position. There's 2 players in garage as well. Chaewon trying to hit a timing. Gonna find one. So that information is relayed over to the rest of the team. Now, will WGA start to get a bit impatient? Because this is what we saw Cal do on their defensive side. They didn't see anyone too quick. They would just start to, you know, second guess themselves, second guess their positions. And as we say this, Nagami's going to fall back, and WGA seem to be holding strong so far.
Yeah, where you know, Nagami was just a few seconds ago on that wall, like that's where we saw Cal posting up with the judge a lot. So, you know, obviously there's a different strategy here. They are a little bit more hesitant. Obviously they don't have the guns. I mean, they do have the guns on them, so why take a bad corner when you don't have to? But yeah, this is still a plan, right? This is Cal getting position. But now WGA has to play the retake, has to run into another team with a judge. Like, something's a little off here. And it's more than just, you know... I got nothing. After that shot, I have nothing more to say. Like, that's what I was looking for them to do the entire defending half, where the judge is the most optimal gun on holding a corner. Just hold that corner. Don't flinch. Don't move. Don't do anything. Make them come into you. And look, that's exactly what happened. In fact, by moving and popping off 2 bad shots, they almost set themselves up to get killed. So, you know, I really like what they're doing. They're showcasing that, all right, they play really slow on attack, WGA. Can they play, is slow going to work for them on defense? It doesn't really look like it. It's not looking like WGA is very comfortable. They want to be a little bit too aggressive to a certain extent.
Oh, I totally agree with you on that point. WGA, this is not their play style. And look, again, Cal Golden has taken mid control with almost no fight at all. Right? I mean, look where Nagami is. Nagami's already into vents. Teagle punishing Shawnee T for getting aggressive here. And granted, the weapon discrepancy is there, but I mean, you're just dry peeking for Senpai as well as the last player that fell. I believe it was going to be Shawnee T. With no utility. They just raw peeked into 2 Phantoms. So,
and this is what we were saying. If they won that last round, it was going to snowball, right? That's what I was saying right before this. You know, you win that round on attack. You know, you're going to get probably this round, probably the next round. You're putting yourself in a really great position. And then it gets into the head. Okay, they just did a pull off flawless on us. You know, we had such a commanding lead going into this half. What's happening? What do we need to do? Why haven't we won one? Right? It's not like, you know, they shut out, you know, Cal on offense themselves. It was a relatively close map with, a 9-3 scoreline. So they need to pick one up here. Just for the mental security to know, yes, we're still playing this well. They're not that much better than us.
Yeah, just to stop the bleeding of WGA. And you have to wonder, do they take the tack pause? Start to kind of not ice out Cal Golden, but just to slow them down. Cosmic Divide's going to go out, and that is a huge ultimate. That's going to give them a full A execute for the price of 1 ultimate. JT Blaster, they're going to pop the Showstopper, and I believe there was a Bladestorm pop by Blue Haze as well, so that is still active. As we say that, gets shut down. Shawnee T and Trev going to work here, trying to answer back. I mean,
I'm not sure I
Cal's
like
gotta make
the
a move.
3 ults. You know, right off the bat, I'm not sure I really like that WGA. Cal committed 3 ults to start this off, but yeah, it showcases a little bit here.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point. I think, Cosmic Divide, seal off most of A site, put a star down on back screens and smoke it, and that is the entire site. It's yours for the taking. There's a Viper wall like that as well that I've tried and executed on far too many times, and I'd like to admit. But do you need the showstopper to clear the corners when you have a Jet who can just dash in, right? But as I say that, Kieran, do you see what I see on the scoreboard?
Yep. There's that operator. There
it's the big
is that operator.
Green gun, the boomstick on a T side nonetheless. So Blue Haze has to make this investment sing because 5,000 credits is not cheap. Can they get one?
Ooh.
Yes, Blue Haze with a beautiful shot on Nagami, who had popped the showstopper. So that's another ultimate down for WGA. And again, Kieran, like you said, time and time again, WGA is getting punished for going too quickly.
Yeah, and they're doing the same thing that Cal was. Why are you sending one person against a 5-man stack, right? Sure, it's the showstopper. Maybe you're thinking you're going to get 2 or 3 Ks out of popping that. But, they pulled one op shot, and all of a sudden, you're now down an ult, down a man, and lose the position. It's a bad calculus right there.
It certainly is. Shawnee T with that Empress gonna fall. Teagle going to work. Gets 2. Can they find the 3rd? Doesn't matter. JT, boom, boom, blaster boy, gonna get us into round number 19. It costs 5,000 credits, but so far that investment in the operator, it's paid off. You don't have to buy a gun this round, and the economy for Cal is just, it's there right now. They're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, spending 5,000 credits to shut down an ultimate and give your team an advantage, even in just one round, 1,000% worth. Yeah.
Hashtag worth.
No one
chat,
should be
100%.
Yeah. There's no debate. That was a smart call. It switched something up. So many times when you're winning, you think, oh, let's just run the exact same thing time and time and time again. No, showcase something else. Get into their mental that's in your bag of tricks, and it's going to affect them in a lot of different ways. I really do like this angle, though, that Nagami is holding.
What?
Yo,
I mean, the shot from Blue Haze. There was no way they were scoped in. There is no way. Blue Haze, if you are recording this, I want to see that on Twitch. I mean, on Twitter. Give me something. At Speezy_24. I need to see that shot. But Shawnee T going to work. Blue Haze, they found the highlight clip, but it looks like so far WGA may find this round because Teagle's in the back line and they have no idea.
Yeah, when we were doing our emote contest back at the beginning of this split, I said, I want one that says check the corners. All right, check the corners. Do not run 3 people in without checking corners. Clear your corners. Do whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. And that was the prime example, right? With the Judge being so popular and so strong in this meta, especially when people are looking at mid-buys and breaking economies and thrifties and things of that nature, you cannot clear run a blind corner like that and not expect to be punished. And that's what happened, right? Everything else went okay, but they lost 3 members right there. There was nothing else they could do.
Especially in a position on the map like Mail. It is so close quarters. That's where people are going to sit with the Judge. Senpai, though, they grab the operator. Blue Haze gets 1 frag on the opposite side of the map, and I think that's going to be the call for the rotate.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine you obviously know that the other team has your operator from last round, so we heard a lot of sniper shots going off. Let's see what's happening.
I'm excited. I am just a one-trick op. Blue Haze just gets... Oh, it was an easy shot, but Blue Haze, it looks so pretty when the op does it. I will say, not a fan of the skin, Sylvanas skin. It's give me some swag. Give me the Ion. Give me the Cyberpunk. Or the Glitch Pop, excuse me. Blue Haze trying to find another one. Teagle's gonna... Nah, win CF1, that's 10K. Possibly in scholarship money, but hey, you can buy some skins with that. Shawnee T gets the spike carrier. Can they answer again? Yes, they do, but Blue Haze for the 3. When there's a will, there's a way, and Blue Haze right now is trying to get this Cal Goldman team back, and they are succeeding. 21, 14, and 5. This, if you're going to lock in a Jet, I'm going to have to eat my words. If you lock in a Jet on a split, this is the kind of performance I need to see.
Yeah, I was about to say, after you called him out, right at the mid-half, at the half point, you're like, I don't think this Jet was the right call. No, apparently it was. He has responded in kind and said, yep, just put an op in my hand. I'll show you what the right call is. And he's proven it. This has been 3 rounds now that he has won for his team because of this op. And that's what you're looking for from a carry.
And look how scared that operator has made WGA to even peek middle. I mean, Nagami they're playing so far back right now. The middle of the map is wide open. Granted, Shawnee T is lurking in this Astra Nebula right on the opposite side. So if anyone tries to go ropes, this is not going to be pretty. But can he spot the bun? I don't think they saw each other. Gun barrel hidden. Blue Haze is a covert operation sniper right now. Just sitting and wait. Shawnee T trying to make Blue Haze pay without remorse. Oh, there it is. Can they get the timing right? No. No timing to be had. And the Boombot doesn't spot them either. That could be huge implications. Oh, I think it just hurt at the last possible second. I'm not going to lie. I would have been spraying that down, but that's the difference between these players and myself. Kieran, I'm in Silver 3, and Teagle shows us the Astra difference in this map here. Johnny T trying to get some hero plays. Blue Haze up close and personal with the operator. It's like calling 411,
Yeah, no, that was just a beautiful shot and a beautiful play. I think WGA actually had a pretty good strategy coming into there, but as soon as you lose Trib up in heaven, that's it.
You lose the Heaven player, you lose Gov and Senpai to shots through the smoke. Nagami, though, pretty shot. Okay, we'll take it. We like those. And Teagle finds 4. Blue Haze, you ruined the ace, but we'll allow it. Teagle had 2 huge frags through those Cypher cages, and that was the round ender. I mean, Kieran, I'm at a loss for words. It was, a 9-3 half. This map is attack-sided. You got to take that into consideration, but only 2 rounds this half for WGA after it looks like the shots were clean. They were hitting everything, but they are struggling on this defensive side right now.
Yeah, and this is really one of WGA's last 2 chances, right? They lose this round, they don't get another one for another 2, and that's going to be match point. Map point. So, they really need to showcase this one, take this one, give them some security, win the map off of it. They'll probably have to go to another gun round against Cal next round, but they need this one.
They certainly do, and they need Blue Haze to pop off with this operator again. Chaewon, haven't said their name too much in the second half. They're going to find one. Just doing their Killjoy thing on attack, trying to stall out, take some space, and they're doing it quite effectively. Look at the positioning on Chaewon. I wonder if they're going to check this, because I think Blue Haze is made some sounds when they were going back to Garage. Kieran, look at the mini-map. Spike is on its way to A site. There's no way WGA had... Oh, just naughty armadillos are WGA.
And what's really important is once they hear that plant, they're going to think people rotated. And that's going to, look at how scattered they are. They're all going down this one round. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
Another one, though?
Please have your gun open.
Teagle finds 2, and that was huge. It was a 5v3. Teagle finds 2. Can they find the third? No, they do not. Senpai's going to answer, and it's up to Blue Haze with this boomstick. Oh, that was a close one. Treb going to lock it down. WGA are going to move on to map point, and I think they're going to recover this operator.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see Cal stack 1 path from A to B. B to A. Instead, they sort of tried to cover all 3 avenues in which WGA could come. I think that led to, Teagle getting 2 kills, but realistically, if they had just 1 more person over there and set up a crossfire, that's 3 or 4, that's the round, right? Don't try to cover everything. If you get a sneaky plant, cover just 1 path, bet on it, especially when you have a numbers disadvantage. And if it works out, it works out. If not, you can always just catch them on the retake opportunity. But spreading it out.
Stack.
Exactly. It's just your best chance of winning.
Speaking of best chances of winning, if you're the Cal Golden Bears, your best chance of winning is in the hands of Blue Haze, the op. This boomstick. They do have a Vandal back in Ramen as well, so if they do need to execute onto the site, they can certainly go back, switch the operator out for this Vandal, and execute with their teammates.
Play it slow, Cal, here. You know, you make them impatient. They make mistakes when they get impatient at WGA. I would not start pressuring this until like maybe 30 seconds, maybe 20. Like, let this round run down. Make WGA go, what are they doing? What are they doing? You know, and I think that's what you got to do here, just from a mental game strategy and from a, you know, an entire positional strategy as well.
We have to get a segment at CF1 called Coach Kiernan's Corner. I know I would tune in for that. But I mean, just the analysis you're delivering tonight is on point. Tailwind away from Blue Haze. Leaves them on about 25 HP. They are going to get healed back up by the Sage, but they won't be at 100% health. 30 seconds, like Coach Kiernan said, that's the go button. You can see the spike. It's being moseyed on over to this B site. The gravity well comes out, and Shawnee T lines him up. 4v2. Spike is down. 3v2. There's only 14 seconds left here, and they're walled in. Huge shot from Blue Haze. Gonna have to go up and over this wall. Not gonna get it done. Teagle way too far out of position. WGA, after a stunning first half in a, I would say, for lack of better terms, wasn't a super convincing second half. They get the job done. They take map number 1 off of Cal Golden. Kiernan, that was a fight.
Yeah, no, listen, hey, that was, like I was saying, 30 seconds go. I thought it was the right strategy. It was a 5-on-3 onto that B site. They still had 2 people covering A from WGA. But, you know, coordination was just a little bit off. The timing of when everyone was going in, just a little bit off. And so the execution wasn't there, but it was the right strategy. And realistically, this entire game, they were playing from behind. You know, I really like the resilience of Cal. I think going into map 2, Cal is my favorite. But let's not diminish what WGA did here. They won this first map in a pretty, you know, in a good fashion. They won it when the other team went on a roll. They broke that economy. They were able to stop the bleeding. That's a lot of fight from a team that has yet to win this year. And I like teams that have something to prove, right? I really like teams that are stepping up and going, no, this is our moment. We're going to show you just how good we are. And that makes a team very scary. Whereas Cal is really, at this point in time, playing for seeding, which is a much more abstract concept than like, no, we're not going winless.
And one of the things we've talked about offline as a whole, as a CF1 community, right, is the strength of this the 2 Western conferences, the Western groups. They have some heavy hitters with San Jose State, right, with Cal Poly Panoma even showing up in this group as well. So WGA, they are trying to prove right now to the entirety of CF1 that, hey, we just, you know, and maybe it's just a bad group, but I think they could look good in other regions around the country. But they do get the job done on map number 1. They will be moving on to map number 2, which is the pick of Cal. We will be heading on to Ascent. WGA will be defending first. So if you folks stay tuned, we will be back momentarily with map number 2 between WGA and Cal State Golden.
I'm the only one alive who get me to the other side. The other side. I'm the only one alive who get me to the other side. The other side.
Welcome back, gamers. I am Speezy, joined by Kieran, and we are about to take map number 2 between the Cal State Golden Bears and the Washington Gaming Association. Gamers? Either one. They're both WGA, right?
They work. It fits the anagram.
We'll allow it. Yeah, it definitely fits. But we just saw, Kieran, a fantastic map one, 13-10 in favor of WGA on their map choice. You know, we said coming into this, they're 0-4, but they are going to have a point to prove. And what better point to make than to 2-0 a team that's going into playoffs?
Yeah, no, it was a very impressive showing for WGA. This is a little bit of a different roster than we've seen them play with before. You know, we were talking about how P-Man isn't playing. I don't think we have Baj playing. So this is a very different lineup. Maybe a preview of the future of WGA. You know, end of the season, throw your freshman in there. Yeah. Let's get the underclassmen some reps. That could definitely be something that's at play here. But regardless, they're showing clean strategies, at least on offense. You know, they're both patient at times, and then they're aggressive. They go 5-man stack maybe a little bit too often for what I'm seeing and what I like. But, you know, it was working. So why would in God's green earth would you ever change something that is working for you? But, you know, so far they're executing well. They probably aren't winning most gun duels, but they are outclassing in strategy right now, Cal. That being said, Cal can bring this back like they did on the second half of that map. I think they were just a little bit too far down, realistically. You know, if that was a 7-4 half or a 6-6 or 8. 5-7 half. You know, there was a lot of different ways. Yeah, 7-5. There we go. I found it eventually. You know, that could have been a much different game and different map coming into the attack side. But regardless, I think they looked good. Is Shawnee teasing us up there a little bit? You seeing what I'm seeing?
Him and Trev are both doing it, and I don't like it because this has become a viable choice. I don't know if you've watched any EU Valorant over the past couple of weeks for Masters or anything like that, but I believe it was Draken has pulled out the Yoru a couple times, and it's looked very, very clean. So if these players have been in the lab, oh man, I'm not even going to bother Treb's just going to lock in that Reyna, and we're going to go next. GG.
Yeah.
No Astra, though.
No Sky, no Astra.
Looks like it's going to be comfort all around. We're going to see the jet duel between Shawnee T. Yeah, seriously. Shawnee T and Blue Haze. This is, as much as I highlight jet duels anytime there's a big one, both of these players were top fragging for their teams last round. Granted, they're on duelist. They're supposed to do that. Blue Haze has showed off the operator. We haven't seen it from Shawnee T yet. So, will that be something that we see between these two players? I mean, the fight over mid control on this map is they gave up control on split easily. On Ascent, you almost have to fight for mid because that mid to B hit through market or mid to A hit from CT spawn, it can spell a world of confusion for the defending side. So I will be shocked if we don't see at least one player play mid every single round. If not, they'll be playing cat. So I will be hard focusing in on this Blue Haze versus Shawnee T jet battle.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did see Shawnee T have it a couple of times, but he never bought it, right? Let's be very clear. I think he picked it up twice after Blue Haze dropped it or died. So I think he had a couple opportunities with the operator, and he did get a couple of kills, but it wasn't game changing, right? When we saw Blue Haze with operator in hand, it was like, okay, step aside. This game isn't what you've been watching for the last 12 rounds. So we'll be interested to see with the long sight lines, saving your economy to specifically get an operator is a very, very bold strategy, especially if we see more ping pong action as opposed to the long streaks like last game.
And Kieran, I'm not going to say I have a 5-head or anything, but please let me know what Blue Haze just did, because I'm pretty sure it was a mid to market push, which I said is going to be a world of hurt for the defending side.
Yeah, and especially when you're not covering it.
Yeah, I mean, site's open. Or not, as Senpai takes down Blue Haze, but gets traded out. Shawnee T going to tailwind into sight, and that's not going to find anything. Spike gets initiated, so that's even a small victory for Cal, right? Getting those extra 300 credits. Treb here just running around. No control key. Give us a little spray for the thumbs up, and Sova in market is going to be the player to watch or not. Can this lurk come in time from Ob? Lurk doesn't matter. Oh, Treb finds one. Oh, stick it. Stick it. You won't
please
go.
Go in.
You won't go. Oh, gets pulled off by the shock dart, but hey, smoke it. Let's go again. No. Yep. Gov sticks the defuse and Ob. Gov making him pay for second guessing. Now a little ring around the rosy. Ob feels cozy. Gets WGA around number 1.
I think
that's a feels bad, man.
That is a feels bad, man. I had a whole entire comment prepared about how Cal has won all the pistol rounds. They look really clean, and that's the right start to get off on. And then that had happened, right? They just threw out my entire analysis, and it just came down to, throw out the next shock dart or run in quicker. But you can't be hesitating, especially if you know someone has started to defuse a while ago and got some progression on it. And they knew that, right? They fundamentally knew that. That was poor timing and really unfortunate to see.
And I love the audacity right there of Gov to say, hey, why not? Let's stick it. See if it works. And it certainly does. Blue Haze going to get tagged up. Treb getting a lot done with that Spectre in terms of damage, but Ob is able to find that final frag. And no Sage on either of these teams to heal up. So Teagle, 100 health. Ob's down to 71. Oh my goodness, the amount of damage that was just done through that Spectre was significant. There's 71 damage on Sova, so that's 29. Plus there's about 75 damage done to Raze, and then about another 90 onto Jet. So, I mean, investment, I'll say it's worth. Great recon dart there. Gonna spot out the Cal Golden Bears. And WGA is already rotated over here for the most part. There is nobody on any portion of the map other than A main right now.
Oh, we still have someone lurking. If you look at the main map up there, we still have one lurker left. So it is a 4-on-4 here at the A site, but it is a quick transition. Here we go.
One enemy.
Oh, Shawnee T.
Quick transition to Shawnee T's crosshair. Just doing their best. What was that old Sean T video? What was it P90X, P90 Flex? Call it P90 Sean T. Going to work.
Yeah, I mean, this was a pretty good play from Cal. It was just unfortunate that they were at a gun disadvantage. They were able to get blitzed. You know, there wasn't a huge likelihood that they ever won that round, but at least they committed. They committed at the same time. You know, there was some good communication there. It was gun diff at the same time, right? Like Shawnee T played it beautifully, but gun diff.
Yeah, and that's when I highlighted Treb falling early, but doing a significant amount of damage with that Spectre as they get very up close and personal here. Grab a kill on the Ob who had the Phantom. So gun diff right there. I think that was just a Reyna difference. It's Cal Golden look to hit the go button and execute onto this A site. WGA say, hey, let's give it up, play retake, because we don't have the weaponry to hold this.
We're seeing a couple people lurk from behind. Something we really haven't seen too much from either team thus far has been that lurk play. But Cal is about to get surrounded.
Yeah, look at the pincer movement. Oh, nope. Sean T shuts down Blue Haze. Gov takes down the opposite Omen and Teagle, and now JT Blaster Boy looks to get the blast pack and get the heck out of there, but Senpai Chan gotta knock him down a notch. Almost like those SpaceX thrusters and blasters. Just come right back on down to Earth, land safely. WGA 3-0. The bonus round secured for them for the first time this map. Yeah, they got time.
Yeah, they got time.
Oh, Kieran, 11 seconds. Wasn't even close.
No, I was just curious how long. I mean, I figured they had already got the guns that they wanted. Like, let's just wrap this up. It's a long night here over here on the East Coast. Come on. We got places to be.
I'm right there with you. I got work in the morning.
But yeah, you know, I would like to see Cal switch it up. They've been 5-man stacking, you know, A for a while now. The best map that the best round that they've had was going B. Mid has been a vulnerable point. I would almost rather them 5-stack mid, expose both A and B to that vulnerability, and confuse WGA. You know, do we rotate B? Do we rotate A? What are we supposed to do here? Like, put pressure. Just don't keep on doing the same thing. And it looks like that's what they have going for them right now.
Putting pressure and taking space is something that, for our higher level Valorant players, it's a common concept. But for some of the lower tier or lower level Valorant players that may just be watching their first competitive match or who are looking to make that jump from high school into college Valorant, you have to understand even just showing presence on a certain portion of the map can dissuade the enemy team to not push that and just make life so much easier for your team, right? So just showing presence, not even shooting a bullet, but just if it's a smoke, if it's a jiggle peek, they have to understand, okay, well, there's at least one player here, so let's not push them or let's not solo peek that player. So WGA 4-0. Shawnee T's on the boomstick already, Kieran.
Yeah, and why not? Shawnee T has been holding down mid this entire time, and other than the first round where they just 5-man, you know, they just push real quick. Like, he's been getting free kills either by pincering or flanking or doing anything else. So he's earned this op. A little bit of a bold angle there to start off with, but yeah, this shot.
Super close angle and gets punished by the opposite jet, Blue Haze with that judge. So investment not able to work. Did Teagle just from the shadows onto site and amidst all that chaos? What a huge brain play from Teagle. Cal Golden gonna get the spike down for only the second time, or I'm losing my mind, for the third time tonight.
Yeah, no, that was
huge.
That's the peekaboo from Omen. Like, you know, they just didn't expect it. They didn't clear it. They were too focused on the man rushing them. That's a great play. That's a great play from Cal Golden.
Yeah, and I think that in combination with the shots from their teammates really allowed Omen to stick that. Because if you hear an Omen teleport, first thing you're thinking is, all right, it's going to go back boathouse, but Teagle just stuck it. Credit where it's due. Gov stuck the plant, Teagle sticking from the shadows. Cal Golden are able to get themselves on the board, and Operator no longer in the hands of Shawnee T, but it was picked up for Blue Haze, and that's a huge find from Blue Haze because didn't have to spend any money for that weapon. That's just a free weapon upgrade, and we saw what they can do with it last map. Let's see if they can do something similar in this map.
I'm really interested to see. This is the first time they've done a split push. I don't know if that's because they have the operator. I would assume so. So I like this variation. It showcases to me that they have something under their belt, that they were just waiting for the operator. I think it is confusing a little bit. You know, WGA, this is the first time that they've had also a split defense. So interesting to see what happens in this round.
And interested in Ob can find another one. Not able to was AWB right there. But they did do 70 damage to the enemy Omen.
And a quick
Blue
rotation.
Haze trying to get... Yeah, that was super fast. Blue Haze was just on A main, already making their way over to this B site.
I'm not sure I like how long Kyle waited to actually get on site, but still they have advantage now. It's going to be a retake situation coming out of WGA. Sean T gets one. Ooh, he's going off a little bit.
Oh. AWB, though, answers back. Oh, and
it's
just
kind of an
shot
answer.
Dart. Recon dart. I mean, hey, I'll give him the answer.
30 seconds.
That was a clean one.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen. This should have been Cal Golden's round. They had 5 people over at B site, well in advance of WGA's rotations, but they hesitated. They're like, well, we don't know if someone's right there. What do we do? No, if you're rotating, if you got them to shift over resources to A, and you're taking that both mid and left side approach, like, you just gotta go. Otherwise, you're wasting whatever advantage you built. And that's what we saw there. They were supposed to, should have probably been on B site maybe 5 to 10 seconds sooner. That would have given them time to set up so that Shawnee T couldn't just blitz in like he did and get 1 kill and allow the crossfire situation from the rest of his team.
Yeah, Shawnee T making that jet work. The tailwind in it causes, when you tailwind in to the enemy team, it can cause so much confusion and chaos that people are just so confused and so caught off guard. But Shawnee T, I don't know what key that his tailwind in, but just straight dashing. I respect it. Sometimes you got to make the bold decision, and so far Shawnee T has done just that. Look at how quickly WGA has given up control and just said, hey, we're going to play retake on this one. This is what you wanted to see. You wanted to see the spike go down quick and early, and here we go. Retake is in effect.
Spike planted.
And this is actually a better look from Cal, right? No hesitancy. I just flamed them for last round. I have flamed them for it a little bit earlier too. This was just, we go in. Let's see what happens. They got good position here. There's a little bit of a gun differential. Oh, no.
Shawnee T with the new tech. I like the double updraft, although not able to find anything, but clearing space as Nagami takes down one. Chaewon, do they know where they are? Yes. But Chaewon answers. Gonna take down Shawnee T. Senpai Chan's gonna take down Chaewon. 2v1 situation. AWB could get this done, but no. Gonna be shut down. Senpai Chan again says, ooh woo, do they have the time? I don't think so, Kiernan.
Yeah, they do!
0.31. Senpai. Just not even fazed by that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that round did not go Cal's way, but it was by far one of their better looks. They set up the crossfires, they set up their positions, they forced a rough retake from WGA. Like, that's what they need to do, but they need to do it on a buy round, all right, where they actually have full guns, full everything. I think it was still a half buy, if I remember correctly. I think we saw...
I believe so, yes.
Sort of a similar situation from what we're seeing this round. So, you know, do that again. They're going to 5-second. They're going to run into another 5-second. This is...
Oh, no. Sean T is a player possessed right now.
Spike down B.
They're just going ballistic. But at the same time, Cal Golden peaked 1 by 1 by 1. And with a player like Sean T, you can't do that.
And listen, this is a downside of these comps that we're running, right? You know, you don't have a whole lot of flashes. You have a few smokes that you're trying to save to get on site. You know, when you have this flashless sort of style or something along those lines, or fewer flashes, like, you know, this would be one of those times where, you know, we would have seen from Phoenix, you know, curveball that bad boy in, and Sean T wouldn't have been able to do anything. But, you know, they're playing a comp that doesn't have that ability, so they have to be substantially more careful. I think they're going to do a split take here with Blue Haze on op, and I'm really excited to see how that works.
And that was one of the things I wanted to see, was this operator battle between Blue Haze and Sean T. And although Sean T doesn't have the boomstick, Blue Haze does, and they take down Gov. So if there is to be a retake had by WGA, there are no smokes other than a 4-second cloud burst. So do with that with what you will. Senpai Chan able to find the long-range spray down, but is left vulnerable. Says, why not? Let's take the fight. JT gonna blast them into next week. Nagami, it's your time to shine. Can they get it done?
Spike planted.
The answer is no. I don't see this happening.
Are you sure about that? I don't know. Look at the health
I feel
bar
fairly
on Raze.
confident.
There's hope.
They have this. They have a
I'm
crossfire
not counting
position
out
set up
Nagami.
here.
Oh, Nagami, let me down. I didn't have doubts, but I wasn't ready to count him out just yet. Got to build up.
Yeah,
the
you can never
1v4.
count someone out, but let's play odds here. That's going to work maybe 1 in 50 times, right? It's just there's too many tough angles. There's too many different things. There's too many different things to account for on the approach.
I am not counting anybody out after watching. I don't know if you watch CS:GO at all, Kieran. Cadian with a 1v4 against one of the best teams in the world to win ESL Pro League. I'm not counting anybody out. Only a P250 against an AK, 3 AKs, and an AWP. So anybody can do anything in my book. As Blue Haze tries to get something done with this top again.
Interesting.
And that's
to see
another
them five
teleport
stack.
back site.
It worked out again. Oh,
So does
Clear
Shanti's
corners.
hold W.
clear your corners.
We need the Twitch emo for the culture. Just give me a clear the corners emo and give me a Nagami time. That's what happens when you count out Nagami. Oh, the showstopper does miss. So this will come down to the gunfight. Nagami versus JT. Slow peaks from JT gets it done. The 4K. Get the spike plan as
On
well.
the operator.
young fella.
On the operator. Oh,
Oh, not able to get it done. But look at the economy. They have it in them. Blue Haze, buy up, light shields, glass cannon. Give me something.
yeah, I mean,
Will they
here's
do
the
it?
thing. Like, no, I don't think they do it. It looks like he's just going to run pistol. Just run a pistol. But here's the thing. Like, that was the
Bladestorm.
first time that... Yeah, Bladestorm. That's right. That was the first time they 5-stacked with the operator. I don't think it worked out as well. Like, I like the split poach, get a pick, and then choose your side. That seems to be a really effective strategy for Cal. They need to do that more instead of this 5-man stack, go one site, whatever. It just hasn't been working out for them. They need an advantage before they take a site at this point in time.
Kieran, I just want to watch Sean T clips for the rest of the night. Like, if
That's
we
what
can
our
tell
highlight
our
reel is gonna
producers-
be.
I was going to say, I know we shouldn't do this, but if we can tell the producers and the observers to not switch off of Sean T, I just want to see everything, because Sean T is just... If you told me that Baby Bay was in Sean T's dorm room right now, wouldn't be shocked at all. Holding W, just clicking heads. 4. Are you kidding me? Sean, don't. Full house. Shay1. I know Nagami could have had the frag, but they want their teammate to get the ace. You hear Sean T tailwind in. They don't know that Shay1 is in Sabrosa. Spots the beanie of Killjoy. Tags him once in the head through the wall. Not able to get it done. But Shay1, rock in a hard place right now. They don't have the spike. They don't have any control. 19 HP. Reload the weapon.
30 seconds left.
I feel like you caster cursed at him there. Like,
I did, didn't I?
Oh, let's watch Sean T. He's only got 7 health. Let's see what he's got. Like, okay, maybe.
I mean, they got the dink. It should have been the frag. I don't know that was a wall bang, but game says otherwise, so we'll have to go with it.
Yeah.
10
Even for
seconds
next
left.
round,
Well,
just stay on Shanti. Let's keep it there.
Yeah, no.
I'm excited.
Let's keep this as unbiased as we humanly possibly can.
Got 3.
Oh, that's the way to end the round.
Che1 tries to answer back. Clear corners, right? That's all you gotta do, Kieran. It's just clear the corners. It's not that hard.
We talk about this. We talk about this every time. Every time I watch a match and I see a team just go, all right, we're just going to run through here. I'm like, did you clear your corner? Do you know that there's a judge? Like, do you think that there could be a judge? Like, uh-oh. But no, this should be, hopefully Cal could take this out. 8-4, same position that they were in 9-3 last time, right?
Yep,
So a little bit better
9-3.
position. If they just win this round, let's see what they can do. I think they'll be more comfortable on defense this go around, especially with an operator on defense at this point.
And especially knowing that this is their map choice, right? Like, Cal has this was Cal's doing. They must have something planned or prepared on this map. So far, we're not seeing it just yet, but Blue Haze does get taken out and traded by Ob with that Hunter's Fury. So answering back very quickly, AWB finds a second one, but no one clears Sean T. Bladestorm in, dash, and gets the third, but AWB with a 3K of their own. So 1v2 situation for AWB. This is certainly doable. What an angle right there from the enemy Sova. I wonder if AWB is just going to wait this out, play for their recon dart. Senpai-chan up in heaven doesn't want to take the fight just yet. They know that Killjoy is waiting, but... Oh, just missed the shock dart. I think one bounce would have been perfect for AWB. They do have the recon dart. Shoot that one out. Why not? Not going to get a whole lot of information as they know where one is. They're trying to find that second player in the Killjoy. Weapon upgrade. Killjoy is going to pop the lockdown. 30 seconds left. AWB is in a very difficult situation. I don't think they have time to rotate all the way out.
No, I don't think they do, especially, you know, with the Spike's location right now. That's tough.
Yeah, it certainly is. So I wonder if Senpai is going to let them get the plant. Because all I have to do now for WGA is just stay alive. 3, 2, not an... Oh! Just barely. 0.03. That was 0.29 when the spike was planted, so we'll allow it. They do have another recon dart as well, so let's see what kind of information they will gather with that. Calls haven't cleared. Senpai just raw W key the whole way through. Gonna get the frag. And we see what the same exact scoreline that we did last match, Kieran. 9-3 half again in favor of WGA.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say I would like to have seen a lot more out of Cal. Just 100% honesty, they didn't mix it up as much as they should have, right? They went A probably 80% of the time there. They went the successes that they had were on B. You know, when they took mid, they had a lot more success. You know, it seemed to me that they were like limit testing, right? If we push as 5 through this door, how often do we win? And that's not the best way to win, right? That's just fundamentally not the best way to figure out your strategy. So, you know, if they win pistol here, they get set up, they get an operator in round 3 or round 4. You know, maybe we have a huge swing, but Cal's going to need to show something here. They're going to need to get on a very fast roll, win pistol, win round 3, and then we can start having a conversation about the comeback.
And speaking of conversations we should have, Kieran, would you like to take the one thing that should have been done there, or would you like me to harp on it again?
No, you can harp on it.
Spike
Cool.
down.
Clear your corners, players. Please clear your corners. That's all we ask. It's not crazy difficult. It's just a little, just a little check, a little jiggle. Oh. I thought that was gonna get the frag. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, in some ways, it did get the frag. All right, let's not count it all out yet. All right, Senpai Chan with the lurk, and just didn't do it. Can't click heads.
Nah. Can't click heads, but Cal Golden can click their 4th round into the books.
That was a very nice 4v5 really, because just how quickly Blue Haze was out of that round. Like, that was a really nice defense from Cal Golden. Obviously, pistols is always a little bit different, but we see Cal. He's got himself a little watered down version of an op just sitting there. Let's see if he can get a headshot here and really start steamrolling this.
And with that piece of cake emote, or piece of cake spray, I expect Blue Haze show us something here. But it is looking like it's going to be the 5-player stack for WGA. They're playing to give Sean the ultimate. Like, that's right now, that's what that just showed me. They are pushing the ultimate orbs. They are controlling them. But I do want to talk about the mini-map real quick for Cal Golden. It looks like Senpai-chan... Oh no, as soon as I'm about to highlight it, they back off. They had the space taken in garage. Once space is taken, don't give it up for free. Because look at this now. WGA, all they're going to have to do is get the frag onto Killjoy. And it's a free site.
Oops.
Ooh, that's a really great lurk, though. Catching your trailing member, it gives them information that they are transitioning over to B site, and now they really can't even come back A, even if they wanted to. They know that is off limits. Blue Haze is locking that down. Look at the quick transition. Actually, look at the little transition we're seeing. We're not seeing Cal bring their other two members in until right now. That's bad play. They got to get a lot quicker and move over there a lot sooner because they just gave this space up to WGA.
Yeah, they just allowed them to walk onto site, and even just the spike plant can be money in the pocket for WGA. And I mean, if you're a Washington fan, you understand there's a weapon discrepancy, but hey, do what you can, get the spike planted at least, and they'll have some better weapons moving into round number 3. So if I'm a WGA fan, I'd chalk that one up in the book as a small little victory.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they had the same guns, if there was no gun differential in that one, WGA probably wins that round. Because look at this peak right here. They now know that everyone's over on B. That is the last member, right? That is the trailer. That's your lurker. They can either, figure that out. They can just hear it by, not hearing anything. Obviously, the person was running alone. They didn't see anyone else peek out. They should have instinctively know that it's no longer an A push. And you need to send everyone to B. Instead, they had 2 members at A for another 5 to 10 seconds. They made that a lot more difficult than it needed to be.
Speaking of making things difficult, this fight for mid control is extremely difficult right now. These players are trading haymakers back and forth. Cal Golden's going to come out on top so far. Senpai going to get one, but going to get spotted. Oh, showstopper. Invested in an awkward situation, but does do significant damage. There's no way Nakami should be alive right now. There is zero chance.
Please. That should have been a kill. I feel so bad for JT. That was a well-executed shot, well-timed. And now they get the rotation, right?
Are they going to go for this? I wonder if they just back off and call this save. I mean, they both have Phantoms, if I'm not mistaken. That's 2,900 credits. Anyone close to their ultimate? Not just yet. So they will grab the ulti orb just in case, but they will have to get through this Killjoy turret on site. Nagami's going to peek this and get blasted.
30 seconds
The
left.
2 HP turret kill. So Senpai going to clear that one out. Recon Dart highlights AWB. And the spray through the wall. Not able to get the frag just yet. AWB, however, with that Ares, finds the frag. The weapon upgrades for Cal Golden will come through. And Kieran, we saw this last map. We see it again. 3 straight after halftime for Cal Golden. Can they make it 4 and give us a ball game? I mean, 9-7, that's pretty significant after being another 9-3 half.
Yeah, I like it what Blue Haze is doing here. He's obviously going to hold the corner with the judge. He's done really well in mid thus far. I would like to see him probably not post up there necessarily. Maybe he's holding up B. That would be my guess with the judge. But I like that they're changing the strategy. They're being they're adapting. They're forcing WGA to show them something. And as long as they keep on doing that, I think they do take this round and they do make a significant comeback.
And another tailwind in from Sean T is going to create tons of space. Right clicks on the Blade Storm. It's working so far. Sean T sneaks under the wall going down.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize this was just a highlight montage.
Spike planted.
Oh, Blade Storm against Blade Storm. Who's going to come out on top through the smoke? Sean T tries to find it and does. 4K for Sean, a thrifty for WGA, and round number 10. If this is the NBA, right, Kieran, that is what I call a heat check. Sean T is not missing shots. 29 frags in this game. We could see this might be the first CF1 40 bomb if Sean T keeps playing the way they are.
I do believe that Danny Steele came the closest to a 40 bomb.
Oh, yes.
PSU. I think he had like a 39.
38? Yeah.
Yeah, he was really close in a match earlier this split. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be close. Obviously, he's carrying this team, but, he needed Blade Storm to do that, right? He's not going to go do the same thing on a gun buy. The rest of his team, that means, is also letting him down a little bit, right? You can't always ask your carry to constantly carry you.
I mean, I do in League of Legends ranked games all the time. It's like, hey guys, come on, give me an Akali.
And what rank are you again?
Go do something. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. What we're going to talk about is the Hail Mary there from JT Blaster Boy trying to get the frag. Blue Haze now left in a 1v2. Do you really want to know, Kieran? Because I'll tell you, it is not pretty.
No, we're good.
Okay. What about Wild Rift? We playing that later?
One enemy remaining.
I am almost diamond.
Okay, never mind. Well, I know what Blue Haze is playing. Doesn't get the stick to halfway. Oh,
no!
Nandayo Senpai! What a shot! The spray control from Senpai-chan just takes off the bun of the enemy jet. Blue Haze, let's see this one again. Oh, I mean, spray and pray, maybe, but we'll call that spray control from Senpai. They taught us well.
Yeah, and this is a really interesting situation to be in from Cal. You know, they're obviously doing a half buy up here. They don't want to be put on match point. They don't want to be put on map point. Like, this is just not a situation they feel comfortable in. They want to force. You know, I really think they should try to go back to their, you know, mid control strategy with some rotations in. You know, obviously, you know, WGA has been forcing B site for a little bit right now. They should be favoring that a little bit. They're getting a lot of good information. They know what WGA is up to a little bit.
Right, and we talked about how important it is to take space and just show presence. And so far, WGA has done that. They've gained information down middle, and it's pinned Cal so far back onto these sites. I mean, there's no one on A site at all from Cal. There's two players in tree, and then we just have Blue Haze kind of lurking between sides, trying to figure out what's going to happen. But if WGA decide to explode onto this A site, it should be a free spike plant unless one of those two players goes ballistic. And just getting spotted by that raised boombot, Treb is going to be able to keep these two players on this site, on this B-bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting a little bit baited here, you know, to stay and get that free kill, but it is an advantage, right? You don't turn down an advantage. So I do like that. It's going to be a retake. They're going to have some lurk opportunities here. This is not the worst position to be in from Cal.
Not at all. JT Blaster is going to be the impact player of this round, just missing Senpai-chan. But if they can find this second frag, yes, they can. JT Blaster is going off. CF1 is on the defuse, was on the defuse, gets popped off. There's a player detained.
Is he gonna get the 5K? Give him the 5K? No. Teagle takes it.
Teagle,
and to be fair,
clinical.
If there's one person you don't try to give a 5K to that's still alive, you don't mess around with Shawnee T. All right, you just kill him.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do, kill him. Like let's not mess around here. Just get him out of the game. Let's get this round. Let's rebuy, because that's just such a pivotal round. They bought up to do that. To say that they had another shot if they lost that round is just not realistic, right? They would have to get a massive thrifty to hold it off. So that was a big momentum shift. Shawnee T is going with the pistol, but he's got his Blade Storm up. Yep, let's see it. Let's see it again. Last time it was a 3K.
What happened last time? It was a disgusting tailwind into two players. I'm just going to hang out in the smoke 3K. It looked like a public match for Sean T, but this time, Cal Golden is well aware that the Blade Storm has been popped, and they're just going to back off, try to play some crossfires, and stick together. Sean T finds the opener, but Blue Haze answers back immediately, and Blue Haze wins the jet battle between them and Shawnee T. Does have to reload at an unfortunate time. Could have tickled the toes of Nagami there, and just done a little bit of damage. I wonder if they go for the door open here.
I think you just leave it. Force them. That gives them one less angle that now you know that they have to come through, right? Like, if you see the door opening, it's them. Shoot. Otherwise, you only have two other spots. You're going to force them to rotate to B. You have a person in back of B. This is an ideal setup for Cal right now.
It certainly is. They have players on each site. Blue Haze starting to get a little frisky towards this tree room, and they're going to walk directly into Blue Haze. Check the corners. Nagami listens to Coach Kieran, checks the corners, but no one expects that from CF1. Able to find one. The door is destroyed. Nagami takes down... Oh. Hunter's Fury's going to stop, delay the spike plant just a bit. Nagami going to try and push the Sova. AWB with the recon dart. And a Guardian. This is very difficult. You will have to be on top of your shots with this weapon. Sovadrone goes out, spots the one on top of Generator. Gonna TP back down. Play this one with Nagami. Spots the head. They don't know where this second player is, though, so Nagami is the X factor in this. Ooh. Jumping Guardian, not gonna do it. Gov gonna put WGA on match point. Kieran, like we said, they have a point to prove.
Round. That was a really unfortunate round from Al because Blue Haze had the angle. He was getting a little bit antsy. He was moving back and forth. Missed his spray. That could have been an easy 2K and a much different result. But instead, misses his spray, gives the man advantage back over to WGA. And to say that Cal was relying on Blue Haze to do that is an understatement. Like, they just crumbled after that.
They certainly did, and crumble is what WGA is trying to do to the dreams, not the dreams, but the 0-5 record. They're trying to put their first win on the board, and they look more than poised to do it, but Cal Golden, they still have some fight. They are bears after all. So not gonna hibernate just yet, as mid control, again, taken by WGA with almost no fight at all from Cal Golden. Teagle's in the same spot.
It's a little bit of fake pressure down mid control, right? It was just popping a few shots. They're not trying to do it. Oh, get that Showstopper off.
Drop it. Showstopper doesn't get the frag. Nagami gonna take down Blue Haze, and we find ourselves in a 4v3. Trev's gonna get that spike planted. And there are plenty of ultimates online for WGA. We have the From the Shadows. We have the Killjoy lockdown. And we have Che1 and JT going to work on this site. What was once a 4v3 has now turned into a 1v2. Gov is going nuts.
Wow.
Gov is going nuts. A 3K from Gov to end it out. WGA gets win number 1 of the split. It is a little bit too late in the season to get them into the playoffs, but Kieran, by the performance we saw tonight, I would have thought we were playing split 1.
No, absolutely. I really didn't harp too much on WGA. I think they were doing a lot of things really, really well. I don't want to undersell that. They had better communication. They had better strategies. And at times during that second map, they were just better. They were just better duelists. So I really like what we've seen from WGA. I like this roster. It's a little bit different. They're showing a couple of different things going on. At the end of the day, Blue Haze did not have the success on the op that we were expecting on this map, right? And Cal, we were hyping it up. You and me were like, long sight lines, let's go. Doesn't pay off. See it. It just didn't pay off. They didn't do it enough. They kept on falling back to the same strategy time and time again. Mm-hmm. You and me were commenting on how open mid was for most of these rounds, right? You had the big man himself, Sean T, locking down mid pretty much every round for WGA. Yeah. But that was it. If you're doing your 5-man stack that you seem to love so much, 5-man stack that, push it, pull it back out, and then you can rotate and fake, pull them out of position. Get yourself an advantage. That's what I really wanted to see from Cal so much more. Getting an advantage and then making your strategy decision off of that. Instead, they seem to do it the reverse. Make the strategy decision and hope to get it.
Yeah, in football terms, you could say there's no audibles being called at the line of scrimmage. They had their play, they stuck with it, and if it didn't work, it didn't work. And as we can see here by the end result, 2-0, WGA is going to take their first win of the season. However, folks, we will have an interview with a player, so stick around. When we come back, Kieran and I will be joined by one of the players from WGA, and we'll get inside the brains of what happened in this split as well as this last matchup. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
I'm the only one alive who get me to the other side. The other side. I'm the only one alive who get me to the other side. The other side.
Gamers, welcome back. Joining us from WGA is Baj. Baj, first victory of the semester. How are you feeling to see the team perform like that?
Not of the semester, but of the split.
Oh, split. My apologies.
It feels good. They were actually the B team that was playing today, plus Sean. Sean is on the A team. We decided to put the B team in just because we had a little bit of just issues with like this season with like our record. We were losing and a little bit of like a bad mental. So I just like put the team on a break so we could just like take a break from the game and just like relax for a bit so that we can come back to, you know, our dominant selves from last split. I think it was a little unfortunate. I think that CF1 should probably work on their West region because we only have one West region and the top 6 teams, 6 of the teams in West are in the top 10 of the entire region, which is, and then there's also teams like Central, which have like one maybe team in the top 10. So it's like, it's a little unfair. I mean, like we were ready for it. Like we knew that what we were getting into coming in here, like we knew that the West was going to be stacked like this and we did well first split, but second split, it just didn't happen. But I'm happy that the boys came through. It was a good learning experience for the B team, and you know the B team actually beat us in a tournament like that I was running a while ago. So you know they've been showing a lot, but also Shawnee T is just absolutely crazy. So you know it would take what you get from that.
You see Sean T going 34 and 17, and I want to talk a bit more about what changed between splits 1 and 2, right? You started off split 1, 8 and 1, if I'm not mistaken, super hot. You guys couldn't miss, ranked number 2 in the power rankings, and then we see this change of form. Was it something that developed in the meta that you guys weren't able to adapt to, or was it more so just changes within the team and the environment and the roles in which you had people playing?
Yeah, it was just definitely just roles. So we won. Basically, I was introspective as IGL. Like, I used to play Duelist and IGL, and it started getting a little difficult just because it was hard to keep track of what everyone else was doing while I was entering. So I decided to step down from IGL and try to see, or not IGL, from Duelist and see if we could try to win by being less puggy. Because we honestly, all the games we won, we went back and we watched the tapes. Like, the only reason why we were winning is because me and Sean were running in and just killing everyone, and that's not sustainable. So we wanted to take a step back and be like, how can we make sure that, you know, we are top team, we're going to hold it, we're going to be an actual good team, not just running out and just killing everyone like Sean does in these games. Because when that doesn't happen, we lose. So I tried to go back and, you know, IGL, but the problem was that I think that a lot of the team members that I have, they have great individual skill, but just aren't amazing at. They don't have a lot of tournament experience, so understanding how to play off of comms or strats and stuff was just kind of difficult for us to adapt into the meta, and we didn't have enough time to practice what we were doing. So that switch up right before the split definitely hurt us a lot, and we ended up losing 4 games. All of them were pretty close, to be honest. Like we even almost beat SGSU, and like it came down to just a few like whiffs. So I don't think that we're really bad for losing 4 games. It's more just we didn't do what we did last split, where it was just Sean running in and killing everyone. It was just we had to be a little bit humbled, and I think coming into next season we will be ready for it. We'll have more time to adapt to this meta, and more time for the boys to get ready for just to get more disciplined and be ready for tournament play over ranked.
Yeah, absolutely. And I apologize for not having enough teams out west. We tried really, really hard here at CF1. Hopefully next split we do a better job recruiting and get some more people out west, because I think there's a lot of great teams out there, and there's a lot of ones we didn't have. I know UC Davis has been killing in. There's a couple other UC schools I really want to get on board. So hopefully we do better for come fall. Get you guys a little bit more diverse playing field. Speezy hit it on it a little bit. 2.06 comes out. Viper, Astra come meta, bye Bucky. Obviously, it was a huge change. It happened just the week before we changed over to this new split.
Yeah,
we saw a little bit of Astra from who was it?
Treb,
right? Yeah,
Treb.
He was running it for you guys in the first map. Didn't carry it over to the second map. P-Man was running it for you guys last week.
Correct.
And so you guys have been experimenting with that. But we've seen a pretty consistent ban out of Icebox. Does that mean Viper is still not a part of your overall composition?
We've been looking at it. I play Viper.
Man of culture, I see.
I think that she's probably my favorite character in the game. I think that the issue is that I can't really play Viper until we just become more disciplined as a team. I love Viper. I've loved Viper since beta.
Same. She's an absolute queen.
So I can definitely say that you'll be seeing Viper from us in the future. I've been trying to push Viper Astra because I think that's the most broken strat in the game, and you can see that with Xset. You can see it with Immortals. You can all these big teams have been running it. It's just that it takes a lot of coordination, and we didn't have the time to just put into it because of school and stuff and just dedication issues. So I think that once we figure that out and once we have more time to dedicate to getting better, it'll be a completely different team from this quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Speezy, that's all I really have to ask. I just need to know about the Viper. I'll hand it back over to you.
I mean, I'm excited. Anytime I hear Viper in conversation, my eyes light up. I get excited. So I will love to see that for you guys moving forward. But are there any players, we are moving into a new school semester when the next season will kick off, hopefully in the fall. Any players from WGA that will possibly be leaving? How is that going to impact the team? And will we see some of these players from the B team tonight possibly get integrated into the main team?
When I recruited the team, I definitely made sure to find people that were second year, first years. So we're all staying. The B team is staying as the B team. I guess it's less the B team now, more Team Purple and Team Gold, and we're just going to play in different leagues together. So you won't see much mixing when it comes to A members coming to B, just because we already have them set up. They already have their own strats, they already have their own players. So the only reason why Shawnee T was playing is because one of the members of the B team isn't on the roster, so he was just filling in. But luckily he was playing.
So no off-season poaching. No off-season
poaching. No.
We'll trade you Gov. We'll take Gov. You guys can take.
The B team actually was the old team from fall quarter, but I ended up cutting everyone mostly just because of commitment issues of a lot of the people just weren't ready to put time into practicing and stuff. So, and then people stopped playing the game and stuff. We're all friends. It's no hurt feelings and stuff. So luckily now they've had more time to make their own team and stuff since I have already committed to the next team. And it's going really well though. So we're excited to see what happens with our future leagues, CF1, any other thing.
Oh, we certainly are excited. I mean, 2 WGA teams in CF1. I couldn't think of a better way to
which we're not allowed to
round out that. Oh, it's separate regions, We'll name it something different. AGW.
Things may change.
Maybe.
Things may change.
Maybe
We're doing
maybe
our
a leak
survey
here
right
and
now.
there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, make sure you answer that survey if you are a player.
Yeah,
but-
read my survey. I got some good information in there. Yeah, go look for mine. Look for mine. My name's Ethan. You look for that one.
Perfect. Well, Baj, before we let you go, we want to give a huge congratulations to your team. And any shout outs that you want to give tonight, the floor is yours. By all means, take it away.
Just shout out to the B team, man. Like, they're not a B team in my eyes. They're perfect. They're great. They're my friends. I talk to them every day. I'm excited that they were able to pull through the win, beat Cal, get our first win of the season. Maybe they're better than us. I don't know. But yeah, it was exciting. It was a fun game to watch. Sean went absolutely crazy, so shout out to him. And shout out to CF1 for putting all this out. So thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight at CF1. Baj, thank you again for joining us. If you can do me a favor and get Sean's crosshair, sense, DPI, keyboard, mouse pad, monitors, just the works. I just, something to get me out of gold and into platinum. I'll be more than happy to take that. But again, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Kieran, we do have playoffs throughout the rest of the week. If I'm not mistaken, tomorrow night at 7 p.m., the Eastern Regional playoffs are going to kick off. It's a jam-packed week of CF1, and I am excited for it.
Well, you may be excited for it. I'm going to be exhausted from it. Usually this is the point in the week where it gets a lot smoother. We're done with competition. We're able to drop off. But tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have an East Regional match on stream. The East Region is broken up over 3 days, so we're going to have quarterfinals on Thursday, semifinals on Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, we have both the Central and the West Region. And then Monday, we're going to cap it off with the East Finals. Tomorrow night, we're going to have Vespa versus Miami, which should be a very hype matchup. Miami's been on a little bit of a skid, and Vespa's been coming up. It should be a real chance to, as Baj pointed out, the East to show up and say, are we good? This is going to show. This is going to show to the rest of the league. All right, they're legit. Or, you know what? Maybe the West is just that dumb.
Well, we will definitely find out over the course of the next couple of days. We will see you folks tomorrow night again, 7 p.m. Eastern, for that Vespa versus Miami matchup. We hope to see you folks there. Have a great evening.